Hi. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my phone, the laptop in here. The camera has suddenly stopped working.
Oh,
Let me go grab my phone. I'll be right back.
okay.
Sandy's joining. Hi, Sandy.
Hello.
Hey. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my phone.
I was just actually texting you. I'm going to be on here, but I might turn off my camera for a little bit. My daughter's having surgery, and the doctor's supposed to be calling within the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I just want to let you know.
Okay. Yeah, no, of course.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna go grab my phone.
I should turn off mine too because I'm eating.
Hi, everybody.
What's up with all these people getting on late?
I know. I've noticed that since we started doing them every Thursday, that people have not been coming as often.
Did you get your hair done? It looks pretty.
I did. Thank you. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. It's it's very blonde. I didn't expect for her. Hi, Amy. I didn't expect it to go that direction,
It
but
looks
she
pretty.
was.
That's cute. Your hair is that you're talking about?
Mhm.
That's cute.
I just wanted to go in and get like a touch up. And she did a balayage. I don't know. I think it's just another way to just charge more, you know. And then I left with like a big blonde mane.
It's good for summer.
It's fun. It's fun. My husband's like, oh, this is nice. All right. Well, since we have a handful of people, I love it. Amy, hi, Courtney. Thank you for being here with us. Stacy, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Gabby and Kelly. And I said hi to Sandy. Hi, Jake. Yeah, so Chris is still on vacation in North Carolina having fun. I have refrained from texting her all week. I'm very proud of myself. Um, I've been doing it all on my own. So thanks for everybody for coming. Thanks, Gabby. So just one or two little housekeeping items. Oh, here comes Melanie. So one or two little housekeeping things I want to mention. The green sheets in my KW are going away. July 31st, they will no longer be available. So please get with me to learn how to do commissions in the commissions tab on command. I will have a training next week to go over that. And yeah, it's pretty easy. You can't mess it up. It's pretty similar to green sheets. I also wanted to let everybody know that we do have a transaction coordinator. I know we don't talk about her very often, but we do have a transaction coordinator. She's an agent in our office. She wasn't able to join the meeting. It's her birthday today, actually. But I just wanted to mention that if you are a newer agent and you have a buyer under contract and you're not utilizing Cortnie, our productivity coach, and there she is, hi. And you just, or maybe you're a busy agent and you need help and you're not ready to yet hire an admin full time. You want somebody to do your paperwork, your transaction to close, basically. She's your girl. $2.99 working with the buyer. The cost to you is $2.99. It comes out of your commission, and the cost for working with a seller, she can input the listing for you and get you all the way through to close. And the cost for working with the seller is $3.50, just because there's a little bit more paperwork involved. So that's that. Her name is Jennifer DiPolito. She's been an agent for a while. We all love her. She's being used by an agent in our office right now, and it's going well. So let us know if you need any help with that or if you want more information. Does anybody have anything exciting to share in the real estate world?
I need showings on my listing in Grove City. Somebody show it. Bring me a buyer.
How much is it?
$450.
Oh. How long has it been listed?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We've had one showing and one offer, but it was really low. So if anyone has some time to maybe take a look at it, it's on Scotsman Drive in Grove City, 1421 Scotsman. And maybe send me some feedback so I can share it with the sellers. I don't know if Sue looked at it with me yesterday. It is on a corner lot, so she mentioned that. But if anybody else has time and can look at it and send me some feedback, that would be.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything's selling in a day, so when something doesn't sell in a day, you freak out.
Pretty much. Yeah. Even there's a couple of newer agents in the office that call about their listings that they've just listed, and it's like, well, they haven't received an offer in 3 days and they're freaking out, and I'm like,
right?
You have no idea. Anybody else? Anything else? Anything outside of real estate that's really cool? Minus politics, I want to say this isn't the place for that. Awesome. Okay, everybody's doing so well. So let's just get started. Keep in mind, we do have a lot of trainings coming up. There's a Mortgage 101 class tomorrow at 10 a.m. And there's a bunch of stuff happening next week. There's a property staging class, another home warranty, title, CMA class next week. Anyway, so let's get to it. So this is Cortnie and Staci. Patzer, Cortnie, Horvath, Staci, Patzer, top listing agents in the greater Columbus area. Thank you for being here with us. And we're going to talk about how you guys market your listings. Staci, why don't we, just because you mentioned that you have this listing, this $400,000 home that you just listed 2 weeks ago, what have you done to, I know this is off script, I sent you guys the questions, but I just want to, just because you brought up this home specifically, you're having a hard time selling it. Not a hard time, because in a regular market, this is very normal, but what is something that you've been doing for this house? What do you do at this point? 2 weeks in, what are you doing to continue to market the home?
Well, I'm just continuing to post it on all the different sites on LinkedIn. I haven't really gotten on Instagram that much, but LinkedIn and all the different Facebook pages. I had the photographer do both still shots and a walkthrough video for me. So, and on Facebook, there's a Facebook page. It's virtual tours and open houses in Central Ohio or something. So I posted the video on there. It's posted on the MLS for people who don't want to go out to showings. They can kind of look at the video and walk through it that way. I did an open house on Sunday. I sent out a mailer to the neighborhood, to all the homes that had not sold within the last couple of years, to let people know of the open house, but it was slow. There was only a couple people through. Of course, it was 4th of July, so I don't know if that had something to do with it or not. If somebody else did an open house on Sunday and had a ton of action, let me know. But yeah, I just keep posting it and sending it out there. I'm keeping track of the hits that it gets on both List Hub reports and on the MLS under listing activity. So you can see how many hits it's getting, how many times it's saved, how many times it's hidden. And kind of compare that to some of your other listings. I don't think you can check it on other listings that are not yours, which would be a really great idea if you could. If someone else can, let me know how.
Real fast, I check it on Zillow because you can see other listing Zillow where yours ranks and how many clicks and how many saves. That's one way that I like to check it against other listings. That's the only way I know how to.
Okay.
That's a good point, because you can see how many views and how many saves it's had.
Yes, and it'll tell you if yours is number 1 in Grove City or number 6 in Grove City for views, saves, likes, to kind of give you an idea.
Is that under your profile in Zillow, or is that just on Zillow.com?
Anybody can do it on Zillow.com. I have clients that do it and will call me and tell me, hey, ours is number 1. So I know that I am Zillow from their agent, but I know that anybody can do it.
Okay, good to know. Thanks.
Hold on 1 second.
So yeah, anybody can do that on Zillow. If you need help, let me know. I can, but it's like I said, my clients do it and tell me.
Well, that doesn't say much. I mean, I still probably need help.
I'll help, yeah.
While you guys are playing around with it, Zillow is not 100% accurate.
So I see the latest activity. Your listing performance is average.
Okay.
I'm having an issue over here.
Oh, it ranks number 2 though.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing. And that's something that you could share with your sellers too, like so they know you're doing a good job marketing it.
Okay. Cool.
Kristen, you want me to just start talking about the questions?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So we kind of already touched some creative ways of marketing a listing. So the first question we had is, what are some of the creative ways you market a listing? We talked about social media. I personally sell a lot of homes on social media. It's becoming the new way. 20 years ago, Tom can probably talk to this. It was, you put the listings in the newspaper. It was more print media. But now we're, it's a different time. I'm sure when you have most, I want to say everybody, but most buyers and sellers, when I'm having my listing presentation, I say to my buyers or my sellers, when you're looking for houses, because most of them are looking to move somewhere else, what are you doing? They say, we look online. And I say, okay, well, that's going to be our number one strategy. We're going to spend marketing dollars more for online media versus, if I put it in the Columbus Dispatch, how many people are really going to look at it and see it? It's definitely the way that it's transitioning, which most of you probably are aware as well. So I do sell a lot of homes on social media. Just like Staci said, there are several different websites, social media groups, every town per se, Grove City, Columbus, Reynoldsburg, wherever the listing's at, there's always like a buy sell group there. So I am on all of them. When I put it on, it's real easy. When I put it on Facebook, I can put it in all those groups at one time. And the best part about it is I pick up a lot of buyers that way. So I will have buyers contact me, and even if that house is in contract, I always reach out and just ask them the same questions you would with anything else. Are you working with an agent? Because they'll ask, hey, can I have some information on this? And I just use it any other way. If they say no, then I try and grab them as a buyer. So it's a way to, advocate for your seller, but then you pick up some buyers for yourself, or I pass them out to my team. So that is one major thing. Another creative marketing, obviously open houses. And I do broker open houses usually a house that hasn't sold, I will offer a broker open house or an agent open house, meaning pick a day, a time, usually during the week is a good time for a broker agent open house, and random, Wednesday, 2 to 4, 12 to 2. With COVID, it's been a little different, but since things are kind of opening up and we can do open houses now, have, serve some lunch, serve some light appetizers, invite all the agents in the community to come through. You can also, to entice them, to get them into the house, you can do I've done a $25, $50 gift card drawing. You come to the open house, put your gift card in a basket, we'll draw something. And while they're there, yes, I want them in the house so they can see it for their clients, but I also want some feedback. So I have a feedback form that I will hand out to all the agents, brokers, and ask them, what is their thoughts? And we're all in this together. We're all trying to sell houses. So most of them are very helpful, nice, will give you great feedback. And, it's always good to get a second pair of eyes on it. Staci, do you have anything to add?
No, that's good.
Yeah.
So you, this is why I see it's coming up that my face isn't even there. So you utilize the buy, sell, trade Facebook sites?
I do. And Facebook Marketplace, I will list it for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
Central Ohio Homes for Sale. There's a ton of groups that you can join. And a lot of times if you click on one, it'll ask you if you want to add it to the others.
Yes.
Cortnie, if you have a Grove City listing, do you also click on Hilliard Homes for Sale, or do you not go that route?
I typically don't. Now there are some like Southwest area homes for sale, stuff like that. I will, because it's not just Grove City, but I want it to kind of fall in that realm. If it's something, Grove City, not necessarily, but I have done Grove City in like Southern Point community, because it's literally 3 miles down the road.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but I don't usually, if it's a Grove City listing, I don't share it on Westerville for home sites either.
Yeah. And I know Command, there's a great, I do a lot of Facebook marketing, and Command, their Facebook marketing is so much, I want to say, better than if I do it myself. I used to pay to promote the listing by myself through Facebook, and I have got a much better turnaround Command to do it for the dollar spent.
Wow. So what do you do if so on some of those Facebook marketplace sites, they say like, do not post homes for sale, like realtors know. Do you just kind of like, you're like, just do it and then apologize later?
I do. I don't know if it's the right thing. I do. I've got it before where I'll get an email saying, you can't do that, we took it down. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay. Because I've had people ask me that question, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you might have an admin that says, I'm not going to approve it. Oh, well, kick me out of the group. I don't care.
So when you guys first started as realtors, you obviously had no listings. So would you maybe ask other agents in the office if you could borrow their listing and post it for them?
Absolutely. I did that a lot, actually. I would use other listings, and I've had several agents in our office ask me if they can use mine, and I'll let everybody know you're welcome to. Please do it anytime. If you see a listing by me, feel free to, take it and advertise it anywhere you'd like to and try and pick up some buyers or sellers. Okay.
Cool, but I didn't mean to like.
No, absolutely. No, I appreciate that.
Tell the whole world, Cortnie, ask her.
Yes, no, anybody that wants to advertise my listings, please do.
Cool, so that's awesome. So some creative ways you've marketed listings are definitely on the Buy Sell Trade on the Facebook page. What were the other ones? Do you use Craigslist?
I have used Craigslist. To me personally, that was 5 years ago. Occasionally now I'll see stuff out there, but I'm having more luck on Facebook social media.
Okay. So next question. And we'll start with Staci. Staci, do you use professional photography? And is there ever a time that you would not use it?
Always use professional photography. The only time I have ever not used it was when somebody came to me and said, we found a house, we want you to write the offer, and we need to sell our house. So they did everything completely backward. And I was like, well, my photographer can't get in there for a week. And they just said, then you just take the pictures. They asked me to just take them. My phone actually does a pretty good job, but anyone can get on the MLS and definitely tell who has taken pictures with their phone and who has had a professional photographer. And they are always, that's your very first impression. You always want them to look the best. So definitely always use a professional photographer.
Have you ever had any people that are looking to sell their home reach out to you directly just because of the way that you've professionally packaged your listings with the beautiful photos and everything, or has that?
I guess that they've not really said that was the reason they reached out to me. But in regards to the first impression and the photographer, which I don't know if this is one of our questions in regards to staging. If you can at any time stage the house either with some of your own things. I've been collecting bedspreads, white towels, white rugs and stuff to put in a house for photos. That always helps with that great first impression as well. Unless, the seller's willing to pay for staging. I've had some people do that as well. And they have the stager come in once they've moved out and stage the home. And then I think it looks better than a vacant home, when you go in to take the pictures. And I would just say too, when you're, Cortnie gave approval, anybody can share my listings as well. But if you have a listing that's right down the street from you and it's your friend, but it's a listing from another agent, another brokerage, always reach out to them first and ask them if you can share their listing if they haven't given permission, because some people get angry if you do that without asking.
Yes, like from other brokerages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so anytime anybody wants to borrow a listing that's not their own, you have to get either verbal or written permission from the listing agent that you can market it. Good one. So, so do you need a property stager to stage a home? You're saying you don't, right? Because you kind of started collecting little knickknacks and whatnot.
And some people's homes are beautiful. They've done the painting, that all their colors are neutral, and they have nice furniture. But my most recent one, is a couple with a small child. And so they have upstairs, they have a media room with a projector, but they had a jungle gym in there. They had all just toys everywhere. So the stagers came in and they got all the toys out and they staged it as a media room. So now it actually shows as a purpose. Same thing with the first floor office. Toys in there, desk, filing cabinets, you know, lots of stuff in the office, kind of like mine looks right now. But the stagers came in and rearranged it and set it up so it looks like a professional office. It looks really good.
I guess so. We're going to skip ahead to that question since we're on that topic. So the next question is does the home actually need staged? Like, can you leave the children's things in the room? Because I know that some people don't necessarily have that eye for detail like some of you, like you and Cortnie do. So they would think, well, it's not a big deal. The house is going to sell anyway. Why can't they see the children's stuff all over the place? So how do you handle that if you have a seller that is kind of like, no, I don't care. That's my kid's stuff. It's going to stay there.
You show them pictures. Here's this house that was not staged, did not have professional photos. It's still on the market. Here's a house that also has children. They decluttered, put all the toys away, and it's in contract in 2 days.
That's a really good, so you, instead of just telling them, you're bringing them something to actually physically look at and show them. It's not like you're trying to be bossy. You're just like, well,
Right.
Here's the facts.
That's what you need to do to sell it. Yeah.
And so what if they see the facts and they're still like, well, I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Well, that's all you can do.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever really had somebody push back that much. Like, you know, if you go through, I say, let's walk, that's part of my listing presentation. I walk through each room with them, give them a little bit of advice, but I don't give them everything until they've signed the contract. But this is the things that are going to need to be done. And most people, their goal is to sell their house fast for the most amount of money. And so if I can explain that to them, like, hey, you don't have to do anything, but you're going to lose, you know, $20,000. They're a lot more ready to listen then.
So Cortnie, have you yourself like ever gone into the home and helped move things around, rearrange and
All the time.
all the time?
Shoes.
Yep.
I keep a pair of tennis shoes in the car so I can flip off and go. Oh, yeah, it's all the time. I'm usually there with the photographer, hiding things, moving things. I'm always moving trash and making sure the toilet seat's down. Just minor little things that make a huge difference.
Make sure the trash cans are tucked under the sink in the bathroom. The toilet bowl cleaners are put away. Just little things like that you don't necessarily always notice, but they show up in the photos.
Pet bowls, you get that. Any pet stuff, it needs to go. Yeah.
Doggy bowls.
Yes, and back to the photography real quick. I actually have had many clients. I do it on every listing. Again, Staci had one scenario that I understand why it was so she couldn't, but I try to do it on every listing, and I'm very particular because if I go to a listing presentation, let's say Staci, well, she does a great job, but let's say there's another agent who they're gonna most likely, what are you gonna do? I Google people all the time. I want to see it. They're gonna pull up some of my old listings. They're gonna see my photos. They're gonna see my wording. They're gonna see how I did, how long that the houses were on the market. So I want that all to show well.
Awesome. So the first, you start even before you list the home in sort of marketing by walking through and explaining to them, this is what we need to do to this home, this room, that room.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Even if it's a vacant house I mean, if you walk in and there's nothing on the walls, the buyer is going to find every mistake in the painting, everything. If you can I do light staging for all of them if they need it. There are some sellers I don't have to. But if I hang a picture on a wall, that's going to direct the buyer's eyes to the picture and a few little decorations. Light staging doesn't have to be a whole room. Now I do offer that at some point. But they're not going to see that the trim had a dot of paint on it. They're not going to see every flaw in that room because their eyes are going to be drawn to the staging material.
Oh. Do you have like one little knickknack you use that's kind of like your signature, like a bowl of lemons or something?
That is funny because I have most of my pictures. If you look online, they probably have all the same staging. I have a whole room full of staging stuff. I'm real into those little. If you look behind me, those little like they don't even match right there. There's a couple of my pieces that I just shoved up there. Like little fake flower things, greenery. I'll put something in the bathroom. The white. I'm very big on white, like Staci said. A white shower curtain, a white bedspread, a little white rug. I have a couple of those little fun wood signs that are all popular right now that everybody has in their house that I use a lot too.
Oh, this is cool. So excuses to go shopping at Home Goods.
Yes. Save your receipts and write it off on your taxes.
Oh, even better. So just really quickly, is there ever a time that you have not taken professional photos of a home, and why?
Me personally, I cannot think of a time that I have not. I take that back. If there's one that like I've had to put on the, I put on the MLS afterwards because it was a family member selling to a family member, and I wanted to get credit for it because I facilitated the deal. But it still put a good front picture on.
Okay. So, moral of the story is these two top listing agents do not take pictures of their listings by themselves. So, what exactly do you use as your marketing strategy that you give to sellers at a listing presentation? Let's start with Staci. Staci, do you walk your sellers through your marketing strategy at the listing presentation?
Yes, mostly I do. I mean, I talk about how when you list with Keller Williams, that it doesn't only just feed through Zillow and Realtor.com, but you use that little piece that says it also feeds through to these hundreds of other sites where your home can be seen. In addition, where it doesn't on with some of the other companies. I always talk about staging and let them know that I have, contacts that I can reach out to if they are interested in staging. Let's see, that it goes on all the different websites. So yeah, I pretty much talk it through when I'm in my listing appointment.
Cortnie?
Yes, I do the same thing. I call it my brag book. I have a whole binder that I bring with me. I could go grab it. And it's got all of like my marketing materials that I've used on other listings, just so I can flip through and show them, okay, here's the postcards that I've sent out. Here are the brochures that we put in your home. Here's different things on there.
So in a market that's selling this fast, are you even bothering sending out just listed cards right now to neighborhoods?
I'm not.
Or Staci, you're not?
Not right now. Not in the price point that's selling really quickly.
Okay.
I agree with Staci. The reason why, it's not that I don't want to, they won't be out by the time that the house is in contract.
That's a good point. Yeah. But if it ever sort of kind of normalizes and we go back to 2-3 months under contract, is that something that you were doing maybe in the past, was sending out that just listed card? Or
yes. Mm-hmm.
You can send out a just listed card. You can send out an open house card. And then I send out just sold cards to the neighborhood after it sells. And I've had people call me a year later. They keep that postcard for a year and they'll call you a year later and say, oh, you sold the house down the street. They'll hang on to them.
One thing I used to like to do, and again, the market is it's a little different right now, but I would send out a postcard to all the neighbors and if I was going to do an open house, and I would do a neighbor's preview, kind of making them feel special. Like they got to come in if my open house was 1 to 3, they could come from 12 to 1. Because you're going to have every nosy neighbor that wants to come through anyway. So why not invite them? Say, hey, we're asking you to come through. Come pick your neighbors. If you have a friend that's moving to the neighborhood, and I got a lot of great clients, a lot of great listings in the future from that. People were very happy, and that just gave me time to talk to the neighbors.
I love that. Neighbor time.
Yes.
I love that. Well, now it's like with COVID, you don't really want to like do that, but
right. It's hard. I mean, I have another example I used to do. If I had a condo and I knew that I wanted to do an open house, but we all know condo parking sometimes is not the greatest, and there's no places if they're going to have 10 people at the open house. So I had a little card, and I'd sometimes grab like a $5 Starbucks gift card, and I would go knock on the neighbor's door and just say, hey, I'm sorry, we're going to have an open house, and it's going to be crazy here. I just wanted to give you a warning from 1 to 3 on Saturday. Here's a little something, and it's usually a gift card to Starbucks. Please go get yourself a drink and ignore all the traffic, excuse all the traffic because I apologize in advance. And they were always receptive, thankful, and it got them out of there. So if somebody parked in their spot, they weren't so upset.
Wow. I'm like mind blown. That is so nice of you. That is so cool, you guys. That's why you get so many listings. That's why I'm over here working so hard. So do, a lot of agents feel like with the market the way it is and you can just list a house and it basically sells, you don't really have to do anything. Is that true? Like, do you even have to bother marketing a house anymore these days?
I still market my houses. I do. I still advertise them on social media. I still try and give the seller, my goal is to get as many people in there as possible to get them the best offer as possible. And most houses we know in certain price points, they are going to sell. You just have to put a sign in the yard. You're going to have many people. But the goal is to pick up buyers too. Every listing, I try and pick up a couple buyers. So if I that's marketing to them.
And to prove your worth and your value to your sellers, because if you do all this for them, even if it sells in one day, they're going to see that you've done that. They're going to refer you to other people and tell them what you did to get their house sold.
Awesome. Wow. I want to go list a house right now and market it. You make it sound like fun.
It is fun.
Mm-hmm. So we already talked about the next question is do you market the home on social media? If so, do you pay for Facebook ads? Do you do virtual tours? I think we already covered that one. Do you need a property stager? Does the home need staged? We already talked about that one. And so the last question, this was from Tina James. She wanted to know, what would you say has been, so we'll start with Staci. What would you say has been the most effective marketing tool that you've used in selling a home, in listing and selling a home?
The most effective marketing tool? I guess I would say lately it's the staging part of it. I know we have a staging class come up, and I did get my staging certificate through PS something, and I include that in my marketing as well. When I do a listing presentation, here's my certificate. I am qualified to stage a home, and I think they feel like, oh, you really know what you're doing with that. So I feel like lately it's been the staging part of it that's kind of helped me a lot.
Just a really quick, that staging class for everybody to know that Staci's already taken and had gotten her qualification. There's another one next week. So it's virtual this time. Staci, you had to do it in person, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was at Consultants, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's doing it. The woman that facilitates this class is doing one next, I think Wednesday. I think it's the 14th. Virtual, and I think it's $195 for the whole thing, and it's a 3-hour or 6-hour CE or something. So we'll say it is on the Facebook ads. It's on our Facebook event page, and I'll be sending information out about that. Okay, Cortnie, what would you say has been the most effective marketing tool that you've used? Oh, it's $120, Jake. Thank you.
It depends on the price point, and right now, my most effective market tool is social media. It really is. It's a cheap way to market. A higher price point, like $500,000-$600,000, it would be a broker open house. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but on those price points, if I'm having trouble, selling, or I shouldn't say trouble, a couple weeks, there's a thing called Zip My Flyer. It's usually about $50-$60, and it sends an email to every agent. As well as not just in the MLS, they have the information. I think it's like 8,000-10,000 agents, and it sends them an email flyer. So I've had success with that as well. it kind of, like, for instance, it'll get them to like the Springfield market where they might have a buyer know somebody coming in. They don't have access to our MLS or agents that aren't on the MLS.
What was that called?
Zip My Flyer.
Zip My Flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never heard of that. Yeah, because we've all gotten those emails
It's like a
from other.
subscription.
Huh? What'd you say?
I thought it was a subscription. You can just do it for one listing.
You can just do it for one listing. Yeah, you don't have to. And you pay by the listing. And I think it's like $50, $60.
That's not bad.
But if I want to send out a broker open house, I'll do that. I'll send a Zip My Flyer, get it out to everybody, say I'm offering free lunch, gift card, please join me.
So both of you guys, is all of this stuff that you guys do for the listing, which is marketing, is this on your listing presentations? Like, I will help stage professional photos, open houses if house hasn't gone under contract, neighbor open house. I'll send flyers out. Like, is this all on a listing presentation that you give right from the get-go?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Stacy, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the listing presentation piece is important to hand them so they can see it. And then, but you also talk about it as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Very important. Your listing presentation looks professional. I always do. I put it in, I mean, it's cheap. I think we have one in the office. I have one in my house. I know Staples, but those plastic little, the ring, not a binder, but where you can bind it basically. Make it look nice. Make it look professional. Don't show up with it stapled. Hand it to them.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. If you're gonna staple, at least make the staple look really nice and not like sideways and like jagged, right? Thank you. This has been awesome. Where'd you guys go? There you go. I want to open the floor and see if anyone has any questions. If we didn't cover anything that you guys wanted to know about marketing, I've learned a lot right from this.
I have a question. It's Amy. Hey.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, I feel like I should share my video when I talk. I don't know. Weird.
Thank you.
Hey guys, question. And how are you with coming soon? So I know there's some requirements with coming soon. How are you guys? Are you doing coming soon?
We're not allowed to do coming soon anymore.
So only if it's an office listing. So
handle that legal.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't think so. Because we went through different phases. So I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. So there's nothing coming soon unless it's exclusive.
Is all you're allowed to do coming soon, 24 hours.
24 hours. Okay, good. That's what I kind of wondered.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You can do coming soon, but it's now called a delayed showing.
Okay.
You can put a sign out there that says coming soon, but you have to have your listing paperwork done and you have to have the delayed showing form filled out.
Okay.
And the time limit is recommended to be no more than 15 days. So you can do it coming soon, but nobody can walk in that house until the day that it's stated in the listing.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
And I got one more piece of information. Last week we had over 12,000 views on our web pages. It just tells you that people are looking for houses on the internet. It's one of the biggest weeks we've had all year. There's over 12,000 people. So there you go.
It's crazy right now. Any other questions from anybody about listing property? I have one.
No.
About marketing. So Staci and Cortnie, when you're marketing a property, do you also think that you're sort of marketing yourself as an extension of that home? So let's say you are holding an open house. How do you show up to the open house physically? Because obviously you are kind of part of the marketing of the home. Does that make sense?
It does. Like I said, I try and everything professional. Like even my presentation it looks like professional presentation. If I'm doing an open house, I'm dressed nice, business casual. I mean, I don't have a suit on, but a nice business outfit, and maybe some heels. I bring marketing material to the open house so I can pass it out to anybody that comes through, my business card, consumer guides, I have those on hand. Snacks, I always have some bottled water and some cookies or some kind of snack if it's just an a regular open house. If I didn't advertise, I'd have lunch there. What else?
I always wear heels, so.
You should.
Your
I'm
name
short,
tag.
maybe a little taller.
Should have your name tag on.
Name tag, yes.
Because not only are you're not just marketing the home, you're marketing yourself. And I really believe that if you could have a beautiful home, but that realtor in there that's there for the open house looks really, just unkempt and kind of non-professional, I feel like it would taint an experience. No? Yes,
Yeah.
maybe.
I went to an open house one time where the agent had on leggings, a t-shirt, and a ball cap. And I was like, oh, you're the agent? I thought you were viewing the home. And it was the agent.
And so does it kind of give a different impression as to the value of the home?
I wouldn't say to the home, but for the agent, it definitely does. I mean, if a buyer comes in and they love the home, they're going to love the home no matter what that agent looks like. But I think your chance of getting a referral from that might be lessened.
Right.
Is that the right word?
Yeah. Because you guys are not just marketing homes, but it's also an opportunity to continue to market your services to pick up more leads, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe she was.
Huh?
Maybe she was.
That was her way of marketing?
Never know.
That's okay. It's to each his own. Any other questions?
Wow, we're that good, Cortnie.
I think so.
I mean, this was awesome. Because I was talking to a new agent that just listed a house, and to us, it's so obvious what you have to do next. But I found myself saying, "Oh, well, did you do an open house? You can tell everybody in the neighborhood," and they were just like, "Oh."
I do have a question for Tom because I understand that we can do a delayed showing. Can we advertise that on Facebook? Because I thought we could only advertise 24 hours. So it has to be in the MLS in 24 hours, correct? From any advertisement.
If
Yes.
you do an office exclusive, okay, an office exclusive, no sign stays out of MLS. But the second you put it in the MLS, you have when you put the sign in the yard or any sort of advertising, you have 24 hours to get it into the MLS.
Right, okay.
But you can still do a delayed showing.
Okay, so it's still an active listing then, but it's just, you're not showing it.
It's just not showing.
Okay, I'm correct then. I was confused. I'm like, I thought you meant you could put a sign in the yard and we have 15 days, but we have to have it in the MLS within 24 hours.
You cannot blast it out on the World Wide Web unless you have your listing documents signed and it gets into the MLS within 24 hours.
Okay.
All right, $1,000 fine. So there you go.
Thanks.
It's all right. That's what I get paid for.
If you do a delayed showing, is there a time restraint on how long you can have a listing in with the delayed showing? Like, could you have the listing in and delay the showing for like 4 weeks?
My phone will ring if you have it in there longer than 15 days. The board will go with 30, but the preferred is 15 days. Okay, like here in Westerville, there's a company that does delayed showings or coming soons on everything, and they're usually 4, 5, 6 months. And they get complained all the time. But the bottom line is 15 days is the golden rule, no more than 30.
And remember, your days on market start. So you aren't even going to show the house. If you wait 15 days, it's going to show as days on market 15 days.
Right.
So, you know, and right now, I hate to say that, but your house does get a reputation, I guess you would call it, if it's been on the market a long time. So if you, to wait 30 days to show it, it's going to show that it's been sitting there without an offer for 30 days, and people are going to say, what's wrong with it? You don't want to give it that bad feeling off the bat if you can help it.
Well, if you're going to do, if you want to put a house in the MLS, that's one thing. But if you're just going to wait 30 days to put it up for sale, you can just do an office exclusive. It stays out of the MLS and nobody really knows about it. I mean, you can do those kind of things, but the advertising is the key, and the sign and anything on social media is considered advertising. So that's what starts the 24-hour time clock. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll finish a little early if nobody else has anything.
Anybody have anything for me? Because it's going to be a hectic day. I can tell you that much. All right. Well, good.
Okay.
You need me, I'll be around.
Have a good day.
Thank you,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Stacy, Courtney, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I'll see you guys around.
All right. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.